Hey guys, it's Shady. Welcome back to another Tier 1 analysis video. It's Sunday, I played 8 games. This is the team. Tier 1 Exploud offense with an Infernape lead. I was very excited to use this team because it has some of my favorite Pokemon on it. Like a mixed lead Infernape with Fake Out, Stealth Rock, Overheat, and Close Combat. We got the GYARADOS standard, but not standard because it has taunt instead of substitute. Taunt's very good because it stops phasers like Skarmory, and there's a point in one of my games where I actually stopped a Cloyster from setting up on me. It's pretty cool. So yeah, other moves are D-Dance, Bounce, and Waterfall, pretty standard. And then we have a few familiar faces. We got the Empress Scizor, but this time it's not Defog, it's Swords Dance. I don't have Defog on this team. It is Hyper Offense. I think I can put enough pressure on the opponent for them to not set up Stealth Rocks. But it does backfire on me sometimes, but I think I'm skilled enough to take care of it without losing too horribly. Anyways, second familiar face and third familiar face, it's the Assault Vest Slowking, and then we have the Sash Breloom. Sash is a bit counterproductive, especially because I don't have hazard control. But sometimes it does backfire, but sometimes it works out. I don't have any other item to give it, so sticking with the Focus Sash. I think Slowking and Breloom are the two best ways to deal with rain, aside from maybe Gardevoir Slowking, just because Breloom can take care of both Kingdra and Ludicolo as well as Kabutops pretty easily with its stab moves, as well as Slowking being able to pivot into Kingdra and Ludicolo pretty well. Finally, we have the Choice Specs Modest Exploud. This thing hits so hard. I don't think it has any switching other than Chansey, which I have Breloom and Infernape for. So it's gonna do pretty well. I'm very excited to use Exploud. Exploud is the main attraction. It doesn't work very well on this team, I must say, because there's not many U-turn bonds. There's only one. But I think I did pretty good with it. It got a lot of kills. So let's get into it. First game, we have a Breloom lead. At this point, I just go for Fake Out because I want to break any sashes it might have. I make a misplay here. I don't notice that the Rotom doesn't have leftovers, so I just blindly go for Rocks, thinking it's just standard defensive. Especially because I didn't take any Rocky Helmet chip aside from my Life Orb. So yeah, I get lucky there. He does go for the Volt Switch instead of the Hydro Pump, so I luck out there and get my rocks up. I think they're there to stay. I guess Scarf Wash is probably his defogger. I let Infernape go down at this point. I don't want anything else taking that much damage. And at this point, I know Breloom can switch in and Bullet Seed pretty easily. I go Breloom instead of Gyarados because if I go Gyarados and kill this, it invites Rotom Wash back in to get a free momentum. So I go Breloom. And I pivot out, I make him bring out his Arcanine instead, because Arcanine is way more manageable for me, because I have a Slowking and a Gyarados. At this point, I know that my Exploud can definitely do lots of damage, especially because a lot of his team is pretty weak now, and I break any sashes that the Breloom might have. I end up taking out this Arcanine. It's Thunderfang instead of Wild Charge. If it was Wild Charge, I think I still lived, but pretty good for me. At this point, I'm afraid of Choice Band Brave Bird. And I need to keep my Scizor healthy for the Azumarill and my Breloom, so I bring out Gyarados instead. I lower its attack. Turns out to be the play because it's Acrobatics instead. This does mean that he can bring in his Rotom Wash, but I do still have a pretty healthy Slowking that can take a Volt Switch. I do make a double here. I go into Scizor because I don't want him bringing out I don't want him doing too much damage to the Gyarados because it's still pretty useful for the Breloom. He goes for Discharge here, which means I got nice momentum, good damage for U-turn, and now I know that Mach Punch can deal with it. So that's what I do. He could have brought out his Crobat here, but at this point I still have my Gyarados and Scizor alive. So it turned out to be the right play. mon that I'm most afraid of now is a Dare Breloom, because Mach Punch plus Bullet Seed completely destroys me. So I gotta just hope and pray that Gyarados is enough. I go for Mach Punch here at this point. I don't really need to switch into anything. If I did, I would have lost something. It turns out to be a Jolly Breloom instead of an Adamant Breloom, meaning its Mach Punches do significantly less. That means my Breloom lived and could get off some damage itself. I finish it off with Bullet Punch from my Scizor. And that's that. I really wanted to finish this off with Exploud just to show it off, so I do eventually bring it out. Just because, you know, it's pretty fun. I roost here first just to see what it goes for. I turned out to be faster. I'll scout if I was faster or not. Goes for liquidation, so I just go into my Slowking, trying to sack it off. As it turns out, it's not choice banded, so it does go for knockoff next turn. At this point, I wasn't thinking of a potential Assault Vest or Azumarill, so I just go into my Exploud blindly. Turns out not to be Assault Vest anyway, so I luck out there. It was probably like Muscle Band or something. Anyways, I luck out there. Boom Burst finishes it off, and then Crobat comes in. Crobat can't kill me even with like a Choice Band Brave Bird, but he has Acrobatics instead. That's that. That's game one. Pretty nice game. I could have done things way cleaner. Here's a feeder. He said that he didn't have enough money to make a tier 1 team. But, I mean, if you want tokens, you gotta make a team to get more, right? Anyways, my Infernape was able to wipe the floor with it easily. So, I'll skip ahead until the next game. Alright, so here's game 3. Another Rotom Wash lead. A very interesting team for my opponent. I go for Fake Out. I again fail to notice the leftovers, no leftovers recovery, so I just go for Stealth Rock blindly, and I lose to Hydro Pump. Joy Scarf. That's fine though, because I look at this team and I look at my Exploud and I think, wow, you get destroyed by Boom Burst. So any team without a Chansey gets destroyed by Boom Burst. I'm pretty sure the Florges also gets 2-hit KO'd. Turns out to be Sash Gengar, which is a bit scary, but I do have my Slowking to scout for any potential Focus Blasts. Went for Icy Wind, I guess, to catch my Gyarados, so you could Thunderbolt it or something. I don't know. I go for Psyshock though. Finished off the Gengar, so now that's not a problem anymore. The biggest problem on this team I see as the Heracross, because I don't really have anything to deal with it, especially if it's like a Stone Edge variant. I know that I live and Evolve Switch, but that the Rotom Wash can dish out, so I just stand. I go for another Psyshock for damage because it hits everything pretty hard actually, because the Florges is pretty weak defensively. So is the Lapras. Laprases are usually Spadef, just to counter rain. So I take 50% or 49% from this Lapras. At this point, I can pivot into Scizor to scout for like a Freeze Your Eye or an Ice Beam. We go for Ice Beam. And at this point, I actually U-turn. I don't U-turn. I hard switch back into Slowking because it might be like a fast HP Fire variant. I wanted to scout for that. It didn't turn out to be that way. So he just went for Water Pulse for some reason. Not even like Surf. So I go into my Exploud because I know that this Boom Burst can probably kill it from here. I don't know that for certain though, but I was willing to try. But he went into this Flygon. I live anything, even like a Scarf Outrage. So I just go for Boom Burst. He goes out, he uses Rock Slide instead, I guess to expect a Gyarados. At this point I know that this Heracross is very, very dangerous. I stay in my Exploud though, because I think I live like another Volt Switch he might go for, but he actually goes for Thunder, which hits. Thunder is a very cool attack, but I know that he's Choice Lock, so I can go into my Breloom and just click Bullet Seed. I'll have to dodge the Paralyze though, but I'm willing to do that. He actually makes a weird double here. A weird switch here. He actually goes into his Florges, I guess to expect to live for me to get 2 hits. Doesn't happen though, I get 3 hits. No, I'm expecting the Heracross. I was thinking about going into Gyarados when it comes out. But he actually goes into Lapras, which is very weird. I thought about like Ice Shard maybe, but it turns out he just sacked it for some reason. At this point now I expect Heracross to come out. I don't think it's smart for him to go into Rotom Wash. Especially because I don't think it has any moves to hit me with hard. But yeah, he goes into Heracross. I click Rock Tomb. He has Aerial Ace. At the time I was thinking it was like a Choice Scarf. I could have gone. Yeah, I was thinking it was Choice Scarf, so I don't want to stay in because it would still be faster than me. He goes for Aerial Ace again. Then I click U-turn. It's actually Quick Claw, so I could have stayed in, but at that point I knew my Gyarados was faster and I could just click Waterfall. And that was a misplay on my part. I should have gone back into Breloom and clicked Rock Tomb, because this gave him the chance to go into Rotom Wash and get momentum off of me because nothing resisted the Volt Switch, especially because my Breloom was at 1 HP. So now here, I spent some time thinking about this because I don't know if my Slowking can live 2 Volt Switches consecutively. As it turns out, I only need really to hit 1 because my Breloom's Mach Punch can finish it off. But just to be safe, I sacked my Scizor off after putting in Slowking first to get the Regenerator. Regenerator is such an OP ability. You just get free health for switching out. So yeah, here's the sack to my Scizor. And then I go into Breloom to Mach Punch and then finish it off with Slowking. That's game 3. I think I played that game pretty okay. I made a blunder at the start with getting Hydro Pump with my Infernape and failing to get up Rocks. I think Rocks could have been very valuable, especially for that Gengar. That could have turned out very bad. That's game 3. Well, here is game 4. Thought it would have been longer, that's why I went quiet. But here it is. He has an Infernape lead. I fake out turn 1. This is probably like a Rock lead, just because it's like, I don't think it'd be Scarf Infernape on Rain. He gets up his Rocks though. I went for the Speed tie just to like finish it off, but I didn't get it. It's just fine. He got his Rocks up, just okay, I guess I can. It just means that my Breloom doesn't have its Sash anymore. This is a game where my Slowking and Breloom come in clutch. Anyways, this is Azumarill is pretty dangerous, but he's most likely going for Aqua Jet to finish me off. Doesn't go for that though. He doubles into his Pelipper, which is pretty smart. I wanted to scout if this was like a speedy Pelipper or not, so I just clicked U-turn. I wasn't afraid of like a burn or anything because Scizor doesn't really do much other than like maybe check the Azumarill, but even then Azumarill is very dangerous under Rain. Turns out to be a faster Pelipper. Makes sense. I click U-turn though, so I get the momentum. Put the momentum in my favor. I expect like his own Scizor to come out, which makes sense. So I U-turn, I get free Rocks now with my Infernape. At this point, I'm thinking of putting an end game towards my Breloom or Slowking. Especially since this Infernape is going to die this turn. Or I'm sacking it off basically to any damage that it might do. I expect him to switch out into like Kingdra here. Or Azumarill. He actually just goes for the U-turn. Into his Ludicolo actually. So it does put me on the back end. I sack my Infernape because it's pretty useless at this point. I go for close combat maybe. Might just click Giga Drain. This is where Slowking comes out and shows why it's one of the best Rain counters. I played this a bit badly. I'm pretty sure Psyshock would have killed this, but I went for Signal Beam instead, which is fine. Giga Drain took 50%, but that's fine. So I can just Signal Beam and then go into my Scizor. I'm pretty sure I live any other hit, like Surf and Ice Beam, so I don't think he's going to go for that. He actually gets confused, so I don't know what he hit. But yeah, Bullet Punch finishes him off. Now since my Slowking is pretty low, it's pretty less reliable in checking the Kingdra. which just come out. I still go into soaking just to like scout for how much damage it is. I'm pretty sure rain does end this turn, so I was pretty safe in doing so because I could just switch out and gain my health back with the OP ability. I think Surf 2 KO'd from there, which is why I switched out. I went to the Gyarados because I could have set up on him. Dragon Dance. I do think about it for a while. I thought about going into Exploud because Boomburst did destroy him, but I didn't want to take like a Spec Surf, even if it wasn't in rain. He does pretty large damage, but at this point I just click Bounce. I want to sack this off because I know the Pelipper is coming out, and go into my Exploud and click Boomburst once. He actually goes into Scizor though. I said Pelipper because Hurricane hits you even if you're in the air, like Gust. I got the Paralyze on Scizor, but I don't think it mattered. Now I expect the Pelipper or the Azumarill to come out. Azumarill could finish me off with an Aqua Jet at this point. I see. Oops. One sec, I just dropped my mic. Anyways, I see Breloom endgame pretty well here, especially because the Kingdra can be taken care of by Slowking still. All I need is to sack one Pokemon, which will be the Gyarados or the Scizor. Scizor is pretty useless in this as well. Now that I know that my Breloom can and Exploud can take care of the Azumarill. Goes into Scizor. I actually missed the bounce, so he gets to live one more day. I don't click Waterfall here, I just click Bounce again. Actually, no, I do click Waterfall. I'm just forgetting. Yeah, I click Waterfall. Makes sense. I promise, guys, this is me playing. I promise. I go for Bounce. He goes for Surf. He finished me off, which is fine. It's what I wanted because Slowking guaranteed lives a Surf in rain. And I can click Psyshock. It doesn't need to kill because my Breloom's Mach Punch is very strong. Kind of felt like finishing this off with Exploud again, but I think I just finished it with Breloom because I don't want to risk like a nasty Aqua Jet crit. Even looking back on it now, I could have risked it because I did have a Scizor in the back. It depended on when he went to here. If he went to Pelipper, then I probably wouldn't have done it because Aqua Jet is very strong off an Azumarill in the rain. Go for Rock Tomb here. I don't think I needed to do that. I think I could just Bullet Seeded. But I went for Rock Tomb. That's fine. And that should be game 4. GG's. I think I played that game okay. I don't think I should have gone for the Speed Tie. I should have just doubled into Gyarados, because I feel like Infernape was pretty valuable and fake out. Looking back on it now, that was fine. I think I could have used my Slowking a bit more. Well, I guess a bit more. Forgetting the word. Resourcefully. Anyways, here's game 5. Alright, here we click Smeargle lead, which is very good because I had an Infernape with the fake out. I clicked him because of that. I think I can get like a early kill with that. So yeah, we get Infernape. Off to a good start. We killed a Smeargle. It is a suicide lead though, so I don't expect it to be very big. It goes into Rotomosh. I just get at my rocks because I know that my Breloom completely destroys this team. He goes for Will-O-Wisp though, which is a bit weird. I think you should always just hit the Infernape in front of you, because most of the time it is like going for suicide. And you would go for a Hydro Pump the next turn because I didn't switch out the first turn. So I go into my Breloom. He misses though, but I don't think it would have mattered. I think my Bullet Seed was enough. He goes into his Metacham, which is very weird. I think you always go into Scizor there. It's your bulky Scizor, but maybe it wasn't bulky Scizor. Maybe it was like Choice Band. Anyways, he goes into Alakazam. Another misplay because Breloom has Focus Sash. He goes for Charge Beam anyways. I guess it's a cool tech, but Bullet Seed finishes it off. At this point, I don't think he's winning. I've taken 3 Pokemon from him in a matter of 9 turns. I go into my Gyarados. Turns out he is, I can't tell anything from that damage, so I guess he's like Choice Man. That was pretty large damage. Anyways, here's the Cloyster. I know it's going for Shell Smash. I can't do anything else. So I go for Taunt. This is why Taunt is so good, because it stops Pokemon like this. You can just set up and destroy your team. So yeah, I go for Water Polo at this point because I know my Exploud destroys him. Absolutely destroys him. It was a bit of a misplay because I'm pretty sure Cloyster is always faster than Exploud. So a bit of a misplay on me, but I still go into Exploud. I wanted to click Boom Burst. The Boom Burst is so strong. Whenever it comes out, it does damage. Thankfully, he goes for Ice Shard instead, so I don't have to worry about dying to Icicle Spear and having to hustle. By that point, I think my Breloom could have cleaned up as well. Anyways, here's the damage on Boom Burst on a resisted target. That is so much damage. It did turn out to be Choice Band, so worked out for me. And then Rotom comes in at full health, with rocks damage, and I kill it very easily with the Boom Burst. Good game. 5-0. And here's on to game 6. Here's game 6. I played this guy last time. He looks like he has a similar team, or maybe the same team. Anyways, I fake out with my Fernape, and I go into Slowking right away. He does get a crit Air Slash. At this point, I'm hoping that I can just get enough damage that my Scizor can beat it. I go for Psyshock. I don't get flames. Now I go for Flamethrower because I don't want him going to Scizor, putting the momentum his way. It doesn't kill, unfortunately, but it's fine because I know my Scizor can live and Bullet Punch it down. Nice and easy Bullet Punch. My end game is looking like it's going to be Breloom again, especially because he has a Rotom. But I think my Exploud can do bits as well, because Boom Burst has no switch-ins, like I said. I go for U-turn here because I know he's just either going for like Wisp or Volt Switch. It goes for Volt Switch, so that works out. I get to bring out my Infernape and click Stealth Rock, because Infernape is a nice check to Scizor. Fierce Fire type move. He goes into Rotom again, which is fine. I get my rocks up, and at this point I just click Close Combat because I don't really need Infernape for anything else. It's done its job. It's guaranteed that the Togekiss will die. He does go for Defog though. At this point, I'm just gonna spam Stealth Rock. He does go for Hydro Pump turn 2. Out that exchange. Now I can bring out the big boy, Boom Burst Man, Exploud. Clean through something. That goes down. He does bring out his Togekiss for some reason. I think he could have kept that for a sack for later on, but you do you, man. Togekiss goes down. I expect Hawlucha because it's the fighting type. But now I look at Gyarados and I think Gyarados destroys him. Gyarados endgame is pretty well written in the books, especially because I could take care of the Rotom pretty easily. But yeah, I don't get too hasty. I go into Scizor first just to, I guess, sack it off to Acrobatics if need be, because I knew my Breloom and Gyarados could intimidate it. But he doesn't go for that. He actually goes into his own Scizor, which is the prime Pokemon for Gyarados to set up on, even if it may be like some next offensive set. I click a Roost there just in case I was faster. I could get more HP off and have another check for Diggersby and Hawlucha, but that doesn't work out. It's fine though because I can go Gyarados. Even if he knocks off, I can guarantee get 2 Dragon Dances off. I say 2 because Choice Scarf Gengar still outspeeds +1 Gyarados, so I needed 2 there. So even if he stayed in all he had to do was stay in once, which guaranteed victory for me. Yeah, this is where I win, because I don't see any other Pokemon that can beat him. He actually goes for Swords Dance here, but it's only +1, so I intimidate its busted ability. And Waterfall actually kills this because it is offensive Scizor, because it has a knockoff. I expect like adamant, max HP attack. You need like max defense to live that. Anyways, this Gyarados. Let's click waterfall again. I feel like I could have put bounce there, but I was afraid of missing. I say clicking bounce because Cursed Body on Gengar could have disabled my waterfall. But at that point, I could have clicked bounce on these guys as well. I guess the risk was that Halucha could have substituted until I missed my bounce. But yeah, we get that win, 6-0. We have 15 more minutes around. On to game 7. Here's game 7. I played this game very badly, I must admit, but we still got the win. I go for fake out turn 1, even though I shouldn't expect them to stay in any of the times. I go into Slowking here because I expect like maybe like a Shadow Ball that I can live, or maybe even a Sludge Bomb because I do have a Steel type. Doesn't work out that way. He goes for Shadow Ball. I make the double. I should have stayed in and just clicked Flash Shock, but I make the double into Exploud, expecting maybe like a Choice Scarf, but it's not. He actually goes for Thunder. Does 2 KO me. I just have to hope at this point that Thunder misses, but he goes for Energy Ball, and I live at 1%. I think that was a roll. That was very scary for me. I attack my Exploud off. Sadly, it's not that good in this game because he does have like many Pokemon that are just naturally faster. All of his Pokemon are faster than Exploud. So yeah, I go into Scizor, finish it off with a Bullet Punch. I expect Arcanine or Gyarados to come out. Gyarados can set up on me, but Arcanine gets flanked by Slowking and my own Gyarados. Still have to get up rocks for my Infernape. Rocks are very valuable because they take care of Weavile. I showed off my Exploud's 8 special defense EV. That totally helped out. So yeah, Gyarados does come out. At this point, I just U-turn out. Even if you click the Dragon Dance, I do have a Breloom. This exchange was very weird. I went to Breloom, and at this point, I have to click like Rock Tomb. Slow it down. I don't want, because this probably loses. So I can bring out my Gyarados, my own Gyarados. He goes for Bounce. I go for Rock Tomb. I miss, obviously. He goes for Bounce. Brings me down to my Sash. I go for it again. I think I should have clicked Swords Dance there, just to get like the extra damage on the next Rock Tomb. That was a misplay by me. But I do slow it down, which is pretty nice. Now I just go for another. I go for Mach Punch here because I expect him to just waterfall. But he goes for Bounce again. I don't know why he would go for another waterfall. Waterfall is free damage. You're +1, man. Even if I go into Gyarados, it'll be neutral. He misses the bounce, and I miss my Rock Tomb. I miss my next Rock Tomb. I do turn out to be faster, so this is like bulky G-Dance Gyarados, I guess. Pretty weird. But I just have to hope that he misses again. Which he does. That was so funny. I go for Bullet Seed this time. I don't want to miss like damage, so I just go for Bullet Seed. I get 3 hits, which is pretty nice. Would have done it with 4, but it's okay. Then I go into Infernape, and now I can finish it off with Fake Out plus Close Combat. Now I'm very scared of the Jolteon, because Jolteon's Thunderbolt completely destroys me. I have to just hope that my Scizor's U-turn is enough, and my Slowking can live 1 hit. But he does have a Pursuit Trapper that is Weavile, unless it doesn't have Pursuit. Still though, very scared of the Jolteon. It completely wallops my team now. So here's the Diggersby. I go into Scizor, because he's going for Quick Attack most likely, or Return. That makes me think it's like Scarf. I just click U-turn. It doesn't turn out to be Scarf, so it must have been Sash, because it lived, guaranteed. I go into Gyarados here. I think about Dragon Dancing. I think I do Dragon Dance. I expect like probably the Arcanine to come out, so I just click Waterfall. I don't go for another one. I'd rather take the damage. And this guy makes a huge mistake and goes into his Jolteon, his win condition. I'm pretty sure this was his win condition. This thing beat my entire team. So yeah, I got lucky there. He goes into Weavile, which is weird. I think you should always go into your Arcanine, lower my defense, because you always live a waterfall from a neutral Gyarados. Unless you're like hasty or something. 10 minutes left, I can get one more game. I waterfall this, it lives. Shockingly, it does have Rocky Helmet, which is like even more reason to go into your Arcanine on a +1 Gyarados. Yeah, I die, and now it's a bit more scary because Diggersby Earthquake does beat me. Do have double priority though, and I do finish it off like that. I know my Scizor plus my Fake Out Infernape probably win. That's what happens. This is probably like a hasty Diggersby. I don't think Diggersby usually takes that much from a non-invested Bullet Punch, but I'll take it. Infernape finally comes out. I should finally click Fake Out and finish it off. That's game 7. Game. He has a pincer. And I click Fake Out here. I actually switch out, even though these should always be like choice. I mean, Life Orb or Focus Sash. I don't think Choice Scarf is that good of a item on Nidoking, but to each their own. I think this was modest Nidoking because how much damage it did. So yeah, I go for Flamethrower there because I don't want his Weavile to come in. I go for it again because I know he's gonna go for Volt Switch. I expect the Weavile or maybe even the Chansey. Chansey does come out. This turns out to be leftovers, which is very weird. I'm running into a lot of leftovers Chanseys. I don't want to say it because I was teased for it before, but this person looks like he's less experienced than others. So yeah, I go into my Infernape there. I get free rocks. We trade. Then I go into my Breloom because I expect like a Hydro Pump. Goes for Volt Switch though, which is a bit bad because he gets to bring out his Scarf Nidoking. Of course, I have the ultimate counter Slowking, even though it's taking pretty big damage from the Sludge Wave, especially after rocks. He goes for Fire Blast though. I don't know why you do that. I think you always just go for Sludge Wave. Going for Scizor on a Nidoking was pretty not smart. Anyways, I go into Scizor now. This was actually no, I go into Infernape now because it's free, and I can click Close Combat. I resisted it as well, and I do big damage to the Rotom Wash. This is the first bulky Rotom Wash that we've been running into. Actually, no, it's not. Never mind. But it's one that Infernape didn't die to actually. So yeah, I finished it off with Close Combat. I don't know why he went into that. I think he always going to Gliscor because it is bulky. But I do have Overheat. First time we're seeing this move used. It does so much damage to Gliscor. I wish it killed though, but he goes for Knockoff, which is a bit weird. I guess it makes sense. I do have a Gyarados that Infelici switches in on it, but I think if you see a Life Orb Infernape, I think you should always expect like a mix set with Overheat. So yeah, I finished it off with Close Combat pretty easily. I don't want to go for Overheat again because it has a chance to miss. And at this point, my Gyarados looks so good. I can just Dragon Dance up on the Chansey and Waterfall. Same with my Scizor. You can Swords Dance up and stuff. I sack my Infernape. No point using it now. I go into Scizor. I could have Swords Dance here and probably just won the game because it is Choice Scarf. But I really wanted to finish this off with Exploud. Exploud is the poster child of this team, so I click U-turn. He goes into this Chansey. He takes so much. I crit, unfortunately. I wanted to show you guys how much damage it did to a non-Eviolite Exploud. I mean, Chansey. I still go into Exploud though. I still click Boom Burst and I still killed the Chansey with my Exploud. So that's going on the thumbnail. You know what's going on the thumbnail. That's a big feat. Goes into Pincer now. I think these things have like Close Combat. But still, I still click Boom Burst even though I died to a Brick Break. But now I know my Gyarados just wins. Gyarados and my Scizor win. I played this very badly just because I wanted Exploud to get a kill. I could have just finished it off with Scizor, but it is what it is. I know this has a rock type move, but I didn't want it to. I wanted its attack to go down. I click Waterfall too. I'm always faster anyways. And the Life Orb, oops, and Life Orb chip finishes it off. I go into Scizor instead of Breloom because I don't want the Weavile to come out. I didn't go into Slowking either just because of that. I go into Scizor and then I sack off my Breloom to a Fire Blast. He's pretty much trapped here because if he clicks Earth Power, my Breloom lives and my Slowking doesn't take that much damage. I think Earth Power was probably his best bet to win. But he didn't go for it. He go for Fire Blast, which means that my Slowking completely walls him. This is why you should run Life Orb instead. I click Flamethrower because I know he's going into Weavile to expect like a Psyshock or maybe even a Surf to live. But I go for Flamethrower, I finish it off, and that's game 8. That's pretty much it. That's when I disconnect. It's like a calling for me. Like whenever Clan War's in, you shall disconnect. That's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a comment on maybe a Pokemon I should use next time. And yeah, expect these kinds of videos every weekend or so. I'll be doing other tiers as well, like tier 3 and tier 2. And yeah, see you guys later.